nothing's gonna take control. I need something that I could never find. Boy, you got it and it ain't for sure. Hey, oh baby, won't you take my hand and never ever let me go. But it's time for us to take our stand, show the world that we're a miracle. That's all I wanted from you, a little more attitude. Oh, well, how can I refuse? 'Cause you're the one that I choose. 'Cause all I wanted from you was for our love to come through. There's nothing else I can do, but you're the one that I choose.
Welcome to Rock Around the Clock. Daily cloud gaming news live at the same time, Monday to Friday. But first, if you're new to the show, please subscribe and hit the bell. If you'd like to support the channel, why not hit the join button on the channel homepage and become a member of Team Rock? Hey! Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was in the shower, if you must know. I was ablutioning. Because I've got to be my best. I've got to be my best for you guys. You want me to smell of roses and cologne. So there you go. How are you guys? Wednesday, it's the bump day, and it's not been a bad old week, really. I mean, given that I'm still just mildly jet laggy, and I don't know about you guys, but whenever we go away, we seem to pick up something on the plane. I mean, hair looks good. Well, thank you, Phoenix. I've boosted the light as well, because that's what they do on, you know, when you watch like on the movies and they go in, they zoom in on the leading lady, they kind of boost the light to eradicate the wrinkles and stuff. So you see, what else have I got at my age? If I could put blusher and lippy on, I would. Oh dear, oh dear. It's great to see so many of you, by the way. Rouster, thank you so much, my friend, for being a 6-month Team Rock member. Absolutely awesome. I didn't know it'd been that long either, but you're a gentleman, and I truly appreciate you. So thank you so much for that, my friend. Absolutely awesome. Obi Rose is in the chat today. How are you, my friend? Great to see you. ASMR Rock is back. Oh dear. There was when we got to our first hotel in the Keys, and I was out in the car waiting for the girls to check in and stuff. My youngest came out, she said, "Oh wow." I said, "What?" She said, "The receptionist. She had an amazing voice. It was like ASMR." I was like, "Ah." As you know, I do love a bit of ASMR, but every day that I went back to the reception while I was there, she was never on again, so I never got to hear the lovely voice that apparently was ASMR-ish. Crystal, how are you? I enjoyed a little bit of Disney earlier from Crystal. Found out she's a bit of a Mortal Kombat fan, loves to slish and slash the zombies. Rouster, you're not the first person to say that about asthma. Oh, what's going on about asthma? What have I missed? This is the problem, you see, when I've got the old chit-chat on automatic. But we have got Miss Phoenix, of course. We've got Crystal, the lovely Crystal. We've got Obi Rose. We've got Adam Rouster. And my very good friend, Cowboy. The countdown is on, and the show is going to be epic. Great show last night with Rudigs. Turns out he's got this tea product coming out made from cannabis. Woo! I mean, I'm guessing, because, you know, I don't know what they call it. I mean, I genuinely, guys, you know me, I don't drink. I've never had a cigarette. The smell of weed is completely alien to me. Interestingly, we were walking around Key West, and my daughters were saying, "Wow, can you smell that?" I'm like, what is it? They said, "Oh, that's marijuana." I don't know. So yeah, I don't know nothing about nothing. But I'm assuming this is the kind of the version when all of the stuff that's taken out of it, but apparently makes you kind of chilled and stuff, so that can't be a bad thing. He's a very interesting guy. You're absolutely right, Anne. There's a lot of people like that around, aren't there? You know, you kind of, we superficially think we know them, but under the hood, they're so interesting. This is why I started doing that whole Stars of Stadia thing, and I got Ray and Clive and others, because you just, once you get under the hood and you actually find out what makes people tick and what they've done in their lives and stuff, it's fascinating. Purple does a similar job, of course. Purple Haze does a really good job of that, the same thing. But all good. Eddie with all the little icons banging about the screen. It's good, it's fun, isn't it? Ray says she does knife lifting in Among Us. Sus. Now, I've seen this sus mentioned a few times, and I'm getting a bit FOMO because I feel like I'm missing out on a meme here. You know, like Teddy Bear Ray and Nebraska. That's a new one. Dorrigan, my friend, how are you, dude? Great to see you. So what's the sus thing about? I know what it means in the UK. I can only imagine that I don't think it means the same thing abroad. So I can imagine that Phoenix was saying, sussed you or something, and they thought it was funny. And maybe it means something rude in the US. You know, like fanny bag. Is that what they're called in the States? A funny bag? A fanny bag. It's something completely different in the UK, I can assure you. Rockmouth, how are you, brother? Good to see. Oh, Bruce is in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Rouster threw his back out from deadlifting. No! Happened a couple of days later when I did my back in lifting suitcases. That's how much of a weed I am. And it still hurts. If we ever start a YouTube channel, can we call it Rockmouth? Yeah, absolutely you can. What else we got? Oh, Nerds World. Hello, my friend. How are you? Great to see you. Thanks for popping in, dude. And what are we down here? What are the way doing the bottom? Dorrigan, of course. He's a lovely dude, he's Dorrigan. Well, there you go. A whole bunch of yous. Thank you so much. I'm in two minds, guys. I'm in two minds about a lot of things at the moment, I've got to be honest with you. I'm in two minds about what to do with my channel. One half of me genuinely is thinking, pack it in, jack it in, finish it off. Getting a bit of abuse again. You know, this before it was public, now it's private. It's insidious. It's not very nice. It's kind of in the realm of stalking. And, you know, there's a part of me that says, is it worth it? Truthfully, is it worth it? I don't know. And there's another part of me that says, you guys are going to get bored with this, aren't you? With me turning up and doing this every day at 5. It's at least one of the same, Dorrigan, and I'm sure more of the same as well. But that's as much as I've managed to establish thus far. But I have friends in many places, and they're keeping me informed. Thank you, Crystal, bless you. I can't really say a great deal about this because I'm under NDA, but I had a meeting, a virtual meeting, an online meeting this afternoon with YouTube, which was actually a really, really good meeting. And they were very, I don't want to say praiseworthy, but they were very positive about my channel, which, you know, it's a real shame when you kind of put so much effort into making something and there's always an element that want to pull you down, you know. And the thing is, they can threaten all they like, but YouTube themselves have said they're happy. So what are they trying to do? Anyway, so I'm thinking at one end about genuinely just, you know, what do they say about leaving at the top? And then at the other end, I'm wondering whether you guys really want to see me every day, and whether I should just do every other day or do some alternative content. I haven't really made my mind up. I tell you what I'm really keen to do, and I'm putting this out there because there's a few of you in the chat, and I love you. I am seriously thinking it's about time we, this community, had an all-girl gaming panel podcast. No, I mean, men watch it by all means, but it's the girls. It's and there's so many of you. There's Phoenix, there's Crystal, there's Christian, there's Meg, there's Misty. There's a ton of brilliant lady creators, and I want to host that on my channel, and I want to grow it, and I want to promote it, and I want to make it really special. So I'm putting that out there because I would love to do that and nurture it and mentor it. So if any of you ladies think you'd be up for that, it doesn't have to be more than a couple of times a month if you can't make a regular commitment, and at a time that would obviously work for everybody. I would love to see that. I've been a massive advocate of supporting women in tech my entire business career, I've done loads of stuff with colleges and schools and government initiatives and things. It's at one point I had more women working for me than men, and that was when I had many more staff than I've got now. I was really proud about that. The one thing that I wasn't proud about was that I never managed to get one on the board, and I did try, and but ultimately you've got to be careful, because there is a kind of an inverse glass ceiling in many ways. But I'd love to do that. Absolutely love to do it. So ladies, if you're interested in that, let me know. Get in touch. Let's put it on. Let's get it on. It would be absolutely superb. Because I look at my analytics, and it is mainly men that watch. And that's not been encouraged, it's just the way it shows. But I think it would be such a great show. And Dorrigan's, my fiance, would love to see such a panel. There's so many. I mean, I know there are girl gaming channels and girl gaming shows, but there's not one in our community. And I'd really, really love to get that off the ground. And I'm quite happy to not have my name associated with it. I just would want to provide all the tools that I've got, the channel that I've got, my ability to promote, market, and obviously the graphics, and give the training and the mentoring, and really, really support it. I'd love to do that. I'd even give all the money raised in the show to those ladies. They can have 100% of any money raised in the show. I'm well up for that. Thanks, Raven. I appreciate that, dude. Sub me on Twitch. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, my friend. Big thumbs up to you. Bless you. I'm actually thinking as well, we talked in the past about, at the moment, I've isolated the giveaways on the show to be like all open up on Fridays, and then all the other days it's members only. I'm just wondering whether I ought to open them up again, but do something like triple the entries for members, something like that. I even thought about today in the shower, because I don't know about you, I have my best ideas when I'm in the shower. I think it's because you can't look on your phone and be distracted, and you just got like this lovely warm water and everything, and you're in a little box, and you sort of you can focus. But I was thinking to myself as well, I wonder if I ought to. So at the moment, I do the two big giveaways that go out once a month. So I've got one or two big giveaways. So in June, I've got Diablo 4 and Final Fantasy 16. Now everything is paid for by the channel itself. So my memberships, some guys on PayPal, some guys on Patreon, and some occasional chats, super chats, and ad revenue. All of that money goes back into those. I'm just wondering whether I ought to do two big giveaways a month, but one of them for members only, as a sort of a massive perk. So, for example, Diablo 4 would go out to the public, but Final Fantasy would be for members only. So actually, members would have a massive chance of winning, because normally the public ones get hundreds to thousands of entries. So, we have had members win. In fact, we've probably had more members win, funnily enough. But I'm kind of thinking about this. If you don't have a panel, you can have a rotating weekly slot. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to mix it with existing shows. I want it to live and breathe on its own. I see what you're saying. Sorry, stream a game. Yeah, I could do, but my channel's not really known for streaming. For my game streams, I don't get that many views. One of the things that was, I can't tell you. I can't, I'm under NDA. I was going to tell you something that was said in the meeting earlier, but I can't. I wouldn't want to do that, because I don't think my channel's the right place. I mean, I'm always happy to promote people, ladies or men, streaming on their own channels, like Ant does and like Ray does, and so many of us as well. If we see, someone's streaming, then we promote it, and that's brilliant. I'm always happy to do that. But I think we need a show, and I suppose Phoenix should know what I'm talking about when I say loose women, right? And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not literally talking about Loose Women. It's a show that goes out lunchtimes in the UK. It's a bunch of older women in their case who talk. They just have a general chit chat. I just imagine it doesn't have to be one of those kind of sweaty, aggressive panels that the lads tend to have. I think that's the thing I would love about it, getting the female perspective, female gamers. And it's technically 50%. 50%. It's virtually equal between... yes, I know, Rouster, it means something else here as well. It's just what they called the show. They were trying to be funny. But, that I think that has legs. And even if we do a little pilot, even if we did a little private pilot, so it doesn't go public, that'll be really cool just to see how it goes. But anyway, that's a work in progress project. I've just got to convince a few people that it's something that they would enjoy. First couple are always nervy. They are for all of us. But once you get in the swing of it, and it's great promotion for your own channel as well. So anyway, a few little things. You're right. You're right, Crystal. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I tend to do that. Do you know, it's funny. I didn't do... In the past, when I've gone on holiday, on vacation, I've sort of taken a notepad and spent tons of time thinking about my business and, anything else that I'm doing. I didn't do that this year. I just wanted to shut off, but I've come back. And, of course, now I'm having thoughts. So, we shall see. We shall see. But I do genuinely appreciate all of your support, and the fact that you turn up and you watch the show. I mean, that's what more can you ask for from little old me, as they say. So, guys, Wednesday. Do you remember we said back along we'd only talk about good things on a Wednesday? I've already broken that, so let's start the show again. Let's What were you up to while I was away that is noteworthy and amazing? Did any of you go paddleboarding or bungee jumping? It is hump day, Beaver. It is, my friend. So, Ryan, what have you been doing? You said the other day you've started streaming again. What are you streaming? What have you started to stream? Yes. It is at Reaver the Beaver. Time to go humpy. So what have you been streaming, my friend? I have a feeling it would mean maybe some Valhalla. I can tell you a good thing. My grandfather's... that is good news, Rotmuth. That's awesome news, my friend, because I know you were quite worried a little while ago, weren't you? There's a brilliant bit of news. That's awesome. I thought Rokk Show was fun last night as well. We had a few chuckles, and super chuffed to see William is doing so well pre his op. He was super scared that the run up to it would be really hard, but he's coping brilliantly well with it. So it bodes well for the future. So that's good news. And as I always say to my daughters, when they're super stressed over anything, that anxiety. So you basically have anxiety, which is the fear. Let's get this right. Hang on a second. When they're stressed. So you have stress, anxiety, and depression. And depression typically is to do with a past incident, a trauma, mentally or physically, that has you've been living with it, and it gets you down, and sometimes it's just a clinical. It's not just, but sometimes it's a clinical thing, not particularly tied to anything. And then you have stress, and stress is the current. Stress is the contemporary problem. Stress is, something is just bugging you out, or there's pressure at work or pressure in a relationship. Stress. And then there's anxiety, and anxiety is the fear of the future. It's where you're worried that you're going to get something done, that the world's going to work out for you, that you're going to end up in prison for no rational reason. And anxiety, I'm always saying to my girls, the only thing I can ever say is, in my 56 years of life, the one thing I've always found is something comes along that works. Not always, and it's only for me, but something always comes along, or has come along, that's kind of sorted the problem out. And it doesn't always sort it the way that you would like, but it solves it in some way. So, fear of the future, anxiety, it's a horrible thing. And these days, a lot of people suffer from anxiety, vastly more than we used to. Partly because we are connected to so many points of stimulation, social media, vast amounts of streaming content, the news channels 24/7, just everywhere, vast amounts of information. And it makes us anxious and stressed because we're animals. I mean, whatever you think, we are animals, and we have similar instincts, drives, and fears to dogs, wolves, monkeys, chimps, apes, squirrels. We all struggle with the same stuff. And you imagine if you see a dog and there's just like a constant noise outside, and the dog gets really stressed, and then he's itching and he's whining, and that's what we're like all the time. We're like that all the time. We've got so many noises coming at us. In our heads, we're whining and scratching and, whimpering. And the only real solution to it is to cut back on that stimulation, find space. For some people, it's reading books. For some people, it's playing games. But, the amount of people I see these days, no matter where I go, that, no matter where they are, by the side of the pool, at a restaurant, on a train, in a car, walking down the road, in a park with their kids, they're hooked. They've got this thing, and they're scrolling through TikTok and Instagram like there's no tomorrow. And the kid's like, hello, I'm only 2, could I have some attention, please? But this endorphin generating machine is vastly superior to that tiny little human in the person's mind. We've got to get over that as a species, and quick. Because otherwise, we're going to have generations of children that are just going to have had no parenting, no attention. And as adults, we owe them that much. And we're only talking about 1996, 1997. We're only talking 25 years since the first iPhone, since the first smartphone, and the apps that were developed for it. We're not talking about hundreds of years. We've got to change it. We've got to change as people. And, we've got to get our priorities right. And the problem is that they generate endorphins. And them little endorphins, they're lovely little kicks. They're nice. Woo! Wow, look at this. That's funny. Someone says someone likes me. We had somebody around for dinner a few weeks ago. And my wife made a beautiful roast. It was delicious. And this guy insisted on watching his iPad. I'm like, hello? We're up at the dinner table, mate. Put your iPad away. And then the person he was with said, oh, yeah, no, he does that. I said, I don't care. It's not here, he doesn't. It's like, come on. Yeah, it's too many. But this is why there's so much anxiety and stress around. Because we give in to all of these stimulations, and some of them are negative thoughts. It doesn't go without saying that politicians and newspapers know that, strong emotions, fear, anger, jealousy, these things lead people to the ballot box, or lead them to buy newspapers or read the comments on a newspaper's website. And we've got to be careful. And also on top of that, we with the advent of artificial intelligence, we've got to become much better at critical thinking. It was bad enough when somebody could just say something, like is what's happening to me at the moment behind the scenes. And people share it without any thought at all because they think, oh, I'm in on something. It's secret and private. I'm going to share that with my 10 mates. And that's okay. I don't, privately, it's me. All right, I'm big and old and ugly. I can deal with it. But we've got to get better at critical thinking. There's a video that was doing the rounds a couple of days ago that showed an explosion at the Pentagon. I mean, it doesn't take 2 minutes to Google whether that's being recorded in the news anywhere and to actually look at the video and think, that smoke doesn't look real to me. Why isn't there a shadow over there? Or why aren't people running away from it? Why is that car driving past at a normal speed? Critical thinking. It's going to become massively important. We're going to be shown videos and audio clips that look and sound completely authentic, and we need to sharpen our brains. We need to sharpen our brains so that when we get given that kind of information, we don't take it at face value. I massively believe in questioning everything. Always. If I hear something, I think, sounds a bit odd. The Gut Chase, my friend, how are you? I know my focus is always on health, happiness and family. Same with content creation. Do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, your happiness is what matters. 100%. 100%, my friend. At the end of the day, that's all you have, isn't it? We only have so many heartbeats, as Mylene Klaas said. So many heartbeats. And a mouse, I've read somewhere, this is worth critically checking, because I'm not 100% sure it's true. But I read somewhere that all animals have a certain amount of heartbeats. Like, I don't know how they'd know this, but I suppose if you know how many beats per minute an animal's heart beats, and you know what its average lifetime in the wild is, you could probably calculate it. And I read that, therefore, the slower or bigger the animal, the slower its heart beats and the longer it lives. Although, with a giant turtle, in fairness, it ain't as big as a blue whale. But anyway, so they were saying little mice and things, they don't live that long. I don't know whether it's true or not, but it's an interesting fact. I also found out recently that there's a whale about the size of a dolphin that lives in the Antarctic, I think. Is it Arctic or Antarctic? Super rare. Super rare. Only been filmed a couple of times. But apparently this thing is the longest living animal on the planet. They've been recorded, I don't know how, to be able to live for 200 years. Imagine that. 200 years. Also, take some time out of your day to tell someone you love. I totally agree. Time is precious. Yeah, and the other thing that I love as well is random acts of kindness. I know it was a big thing back along, but do you know what? There's nothing nicer than that for me, and I'm sure it is the same for a lot of you. The biggest fun of Christmas is the giving. Well, at least it is when you get older. I think when you're younger, it's the getting, right? But as you get older, you find giving gives you more pleasure. So I often think to myself, why stop at Christmas? If give your mother or your friends or your family something, randomly nice. Even if it's just a hug, but it's a nice thing to do. I agree. We don't do enough of that. We've become, I do think we've become much more selfish as a species. Yeah, and I think that needs to change. I'm hoping it is changing. I'm hoping we've been through we will have gone through a decade of darkness. And I think we're battling back to the light. As I look around, I think I can see a lot of those dark points dissipating. I think they just caught people unawares, quite honestly. I think we all thought that we'd grown up as a culture globally, well, most places, as a civilization, and this is good. We're sharing and caring and loving, and we took our eye off the ball. And a few nasty, dark people with chips on their shoulders predominantly took advantage and have had their way for a decade. But Pendulums swing in both directions. Always comes back. Crystal loves to give sometime, maybe too much sometimes, and not just monetary. I know you're a big giver, but don't you? And Crystal, I'm not going to comment on whether I think people give or don't give too much, but doesn't it make you feel really good when you do it? It does me. I just feel, whether it's a charity or friends in need or anything like that. I think there's a fine line. Some people do take advantage. But ultimately, maybe that's just an acceptable risk in the game of giving. Maybe. Jem, great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for popping in, brother. Have you released that? No, June, isn't it? It's June, the Pixelmancer update. I know you did say it's whenever you want it to be, which is fair enough. I mean, yeah, it's absolutely fair. Oh, it's great to see you, Chase. Do you know, I was in, I don't know which part of Florida you reside in, and obviously you don't need to tell me or make it public, but I did wonder how far from you I was when I was down we went Miami down to the Keys, but I'd assumed you were probably a lot further north than that. It's a funny old place, isn't it, the Keys? It's just miles from anybody. But it's lovely. I love getting over to the States. I really do. And I got confused because I was saying I thought Wendy's was more of a diner than a takeout place, like McDonald's. But then it turned out I was thinking of Denny's. Ha-ha! And I never got to go there anyway, which I was gutted about. I love those American diners. I mean, I know it's a chain and everything, but you don't find very many of the mom and pop sort of family run ones anymore. Certainly you don't in the big tourist areas. I'm sure if I went up to a small town or a village or something, I'd probably find one. That's what I want to do one day. I'd just love to. I was talking to Mrs. Rokk about this actually. Just hiring. You see those massive Winnebago RV things? I'm sure they're not called Winnebagos, but they're like literally the size of a Greyhound bus. Fast. But I was saying it would actually be amazing to rent one of those puppies and just go from one side of the US to the other, but snaking up and down as you go. So not straight, but up there and down there and up there and down there. I just fully get the whole thing. I love to do that. Love it. Denny's is pretty good, especially for breakfast. There's IHOP as well, isn't there, for breakfasts? That's kind of the big breakfast thing. I'd love to do that one day, though. Really would. I love pancakes. I'd struggle with big breakfasts. In fact, I don't normally eat breakfast full stop. I typically stop eating around 6 p.m. and then start up again at midday the next day with filling in my hunger pangs with pistachios and coffee and strawberries if there are any in the house. But Geek, how are you, dude? Heyo, good to see you, my friend. I've only had Denny's once, says Reva. Yeah, I mean, ultimately with a lot of these chains, the experience is, although technically you imagine, because it's a brand, wherever you go in the country, you're going to get the same experience, but that's not what I found. And ultimately it depends on the staff and, how clean the joint is and everything. We did a Taco Bell in, it must have been Florida, although it could easily have been somewhere else. It was certainly in the States. And it was such a bad experience. And yet prior to that, it was like my favourite joint. And I'm like to my girls, this is a few years back now, I was like, we've got to do a Taco Bell's. It's one of my favourites, amazing. They were like, yeah, really great. And then it was dire. And they're like, this time they were like, not doing Taco Bell. Oh no, please give them another chance. No, not risking it. So so it can be different, can't it? What temperatures have you got? Rockmouth, is it hot where you guys live? Turned on the AC. What temperature have you got, my friend? It was 24 degrees, says Phoenix. I tell you what, let me have a look on my little device. 29 degrees in my office, and that's with the fan on. Wow. Yeah, I've got a fan on, you can probably hear it. And 29's not good, but that's not outside. Outside, somewhere between 22 and 24, which is about 75. That's a good temperature. I'm happy with that. I can live with 75. Del Taco. I haven't seen Del Taco. Is that a chain? Well, it must be, otherwise you wouldn't have mentioned it, I guess. I haven't seen a Del Taco, Geek. That sounds good, because that's more your end of the world, isn't it? The old catering and stuff. 29, yeah, in the office, Gem, not outside. In my little kind of converted garage, because there's no insulation, so it gets super hot in the summer and super cold in the winter. Yeah, I've got, I suppose it's 2 monitors, a PC, and my hot air. I love Taco Bell as well, but yeah, but you can go to one place and, you know, not quite the same, is it? It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And Soviet. But I don't know. I don't eat out much, to be honest. I do like a consistent experience, and I am really kind of unadventurous when it comes to food. Less so these days. When we were in the States, I tried a few things that I haven't had before. I tried a Cuban sandwich, which was, I have to say, delicious. And on paper, I wouldn't have normally eaten it, because I'm not a huge pork fan. And this was ham and pulled pork, and I forget other sauces and veg and stuff in their kind of lovely toasty bread. But it was delicious. It was delicious. So I'm really glad I tried that. I could have just said nah, but I didn't give it a go. But no, Nico Molina, subscribe. Thank you so much, Nico. Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, my friend. Nicole Molina, what a lovely name. Thank you so much, brother or sister. Presupposing there. Curse that bear hating burrito. I've only had Taco Bell once and it broke my tooth. Oh, what? And I've been hesitant. Oh no! What was it? It was I Love Burrito. Had one yesterday. There you go. All is good. What was it in your taco, mate? Maybe you actually bit the bell itself. Dong. Wow. I don't know why they're called a taco, but I don't know why it's Taco Bell. Aren't they owned by, it's either McDonald's or KFC? I think they're owned by KFC, aren't they? Is it part of the KFC family, I think? I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Redfall today. I've been well in KFC. Thank you, Crystal. I thought it was. I've been loving it. Been loving a bit of Redfall. I actually streamed an hour or two earlier on Twitch as well. But it's you know, it's not ever going to get Game of the Year. But I don't know. You know when you get into a game and it just becomes muscle memory what you have to do? It's kind of what it is. I know there's the new season of Destiny, isn't there? Was that launched yesterday? I went to GeForce to have a look at it, and it said it was under maintenance, so I assumed they were updating. I know I had an update on my PlayStation, but I'd noticed a couple of hours before they normally kick off the new season, so I haven't tested it since. I'm really gutted. I don't know why. I haven't fallen out of love with Destiny. There was a time when it was like, and I think it genuinely was an addiction. I played no other game. I played thousands of hours of Destiny. And just over the last few months, I've just become less and less interested. I mean, I kind of blame what they're doing with content, but I think it's more me than anything. Rouster loves a hard taco. Because you can have like a crispy taco, can't you? And then you can have one that's a bit softer. Or am I making that up? I do like Mexican, though, I have to say. It's definitely one of my favourite food genres. Sounds like a bad tooth, says Adam. Yeah, Jem Reva says the same thing. Bad tooth. I don't know. You'd know, wouldn't you, if you had a tooth that was that bad? Good for hay fever, apparently. What, a hard taco? Oh, honey. Honey is bad for me. Oh no. Honey, what's the New Zealand one? The New Zealand bee. Is it like Maluka? Maluka honey? It's supposed to be really, really good at sort of boosting your immune system. Is it Manuka or Maluka? I forget now. Manuka rings a bell. Manuka. Thank you, Dorgan. Interesting taste as well. It's not like your normal honey, but it is supposed to be really, really good for you. Whether it is or not, I mean, I'd hope it would be. There are so many hangovers from various marketing campaigns. I'm not suggesting this is the case with Manuka honey, but the classic is 5 a day. Everybody says it. Oh, yeah, it counts as one of your 5 a day, as if actually it's a genuine thing, but it isn't. It comes from a marketing campaign in the 1960s, I think, in the States, by a particular vegetable, in fact. I don't even think it was, the Vegetable Growing Society. And it became so huge that it's become part of our culture. So we all go around saying, yes, I get my 5 a day, and it doesn't mean anything. There's no scientific basis to say you need 5 specific vegetables a day, any more than 101. As long as, yeah, exactly. It's absolute BS. Bounty bar. Well, coconut's good fibre. I mean, you could go down that road, I guess. But, balanced diet. That's the one thing I did notice when we were in the States. I'm sure it's not the case in average American homes, but certainly in all the restaurants we went to. Whatever you ordered, there was no veg. It was a side, and that was optional. It may come with fries or plantain chips or chips or coleslaw, but no veg. Your salad's separate, your veg is separate. I'm like, but this is just a plate of carbs and protein. It can't be good, can it? Surely. It's interesting, Reva, that you love Italian. I mean, who doesn't? But that whole concept that you guys have in the States of having sort of entrees and all that stuff, it all comes from Italy. If you go out to Italy, proper Italian restaurants, they will have a salad, which is again a big American thing, followed by the meat, and the meat is literally on its own on a plate. And then you might have veg, and you may have something else, and so on. But they kind of do these little segmented, almost, I suppose, a bit like tapas, although I've never had tapas, so I don't know whether I'm talking a load of old bilge or not. Same as 3 litres a day, says Dorrigan. That's Gatorade, there you go. Scientific amount to drink is when you're thirsty. Love it, my friend. So many of those things, aren't there? It comes back to the earlier point about critical thinking. Most people just take this stuff on face value. Aunt Judith told me that, a school in Sussex has cancelled the Christian play that they put on at Christmas. I forgot what they're called. Because blah, 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 blah. There's a huge Islamic community around the corner. And you go, what have you looked into it? Have you actually researched it? Oh, I've got time for that. If Aunt Judith tells me it's correct, so I go off and research it, it's bilge. No, it's not true at all. There are literally websites, fact-checking websites, that will tell you in 2 seconds. I don't know, we've just got this. They used to say back in the day, kids aren't taught properly at school how to manage finances, and it's still true to this day. And the other thing that they're not taught, and that really, really needs to be part of the curriculum, is critical thinking. Analysing. I mean, you can go on to college and university. At university, it's essential. You don't get a degree if you don't do it. You've got to research and show all of your sources, but not at school. So when you start university, the first thing they teach you is critical thinking. and how that relates to what you write and your sources. Well, they should have been teaching that when you were 14. At the point when kids are on social media saying, yeah, well, I've heard this, 5 a day. Jeez, we got it round the wrong way. Absolutely. Ralston needs to unbuckle after those big meatballs. Big meatballs! Nebraska! Oh, what's Ray come in with? What did you come in with, Ray? Hang on, I'm going back up. Ray comes in with the most un-Italian meal ever. This big. Do they weigh you down while he's on about his meatballs? Chicken wings and ribs with halloumi fry. Oh, that does sound good, my friend. Ribs. Do you know, I haven't had ribs in years. And God, definitely bonjour win. Yeah, I'm gonna be bringing it back, mate, for non-members soon. I'm gonna be up for that. How big are the balls, Ray? I'm having spaghetti with huge meatballs. That's Italian. You can have that. I'll let you have that, my friend. That's not a problem at all. I do love spaghetti and meatballs. Sometimes the tomato sauce is too tomatoey, and that can be a bit. But Parmigiani, pizza margherita or chicken parmigiana, yeah. And the one I like, is it Polo? Oh, what's it like? Spaghetti Polo, whatever it is, and it's like bed of spaghetti, tomato sauce, and a chicken in breadcrumbs. Delicious. I love that. Oh, it's so delicious. Maybe the tomato sauce over the top of it, actually. That's really good. I love that. I had a message just now from Mrs. Rokk talking about dinner, because they're out. Her and my youngest have gone paddleboarding, so it's we've got fish and chips. Do you want me to get you some, or are you happy to eat up chili or pasta? So I've got an option of fish and chips. By the way, this was an hour ago. It's all happened, and it's too late now, I reckon. Or chili. Do you know what? I'd be happy with chili or pasta. I would be all right with that. It's nice pasta. It's in pesto sauce. Pasta in pesto. I love lasagna, Crystal. I do love a lasagna. That's usually my go-to. Chish and Phipps, says Dorrigan. I know, mate. I know, but I'm back on a little bit of a diet. I'm not a major one. I'm not doing a keto. I'm just cutting out between evening meal and lunch time, and then big meal-ish at dinner time, or tea time as I call it. I feel like I've been pressured by society to accept dinner, but it's still tea for me. It's my tea. Hash brown. Roast beef and gravy and toast together. But it's funny you say that, actually, Ryan. The one thing that I have found in life, as somebody who could not cook their way out of a paper bag, is anything on toast, buttered toast, mind you, anything on buttered toast tastes amazing. And I don't know why. It doesn't matter what it is. You got leftovers in the fridge, slap it on some hot buttered toast. It's amazing. It's the most beautiful thing. I don't know why. I'm going to go and get lunch. I've made him hungry. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. What are you having for lunch, my friend? Because you guys have like a set meal in your restaurant, do you? Cuban toast. That's what honestly, it's nice. It's like 2 bits of bread with butter in the middle, and then they toast the whole thing. Chinese Ray, what kind of Chinese are you having, dude? Because you guys, your Chinese menus in the States are so different to the Chinese menus that we have at our Chinese restaurants. I do think they're pretty much the same things. They're just different names. That's what I think. Thick slice. You know it, Eddie. You know it, my friend. It doesn't matter what it is. Slap it on thick slice toasted bread. Reggie? It's true. It's served as gyro served at the cafeteria, says Adam. Oh, a jalfrezi. Oh, you guys are making me hungry. They're down there in Salcombe, which is out on the coast, eating fish and chips, and all I've got to look forward to is cold pasta or chili in the fridge. However, combine the two, heat it up in the mic, big thick slice of bread in the old toaster, slapdash some of the old Anchor. That's a meal. Yes, I'm up for a bit of that. Woohoo! Don't knock it, I tell you. Don't knock it till you've tried it, guys. Beans on toast. Try it. It's got to be the proper baked beans in tomato sauce, though, not just like refried beans or black beans. Proper baked beans in tomato sauce, Heinz. Cook it, slap it on toast. Oh, with some grated cheese. Ooh, you know it. Eddie knows it. I know it. It's the way it's got to be. Extra thick. Extra thick with a double C. Right, shall we spin the wheel? Almost forgot. I need to let you guys go. Let's get down there, shall we? Here we are. Right then. Let's do it. Let's see who's going to win today, shall we? Let's get the entrance up. And I'm going to spin. Good luck, guys. Members only today, but I'm going to reintroduce subscribers, but I'm going to triple the amount of members entries. So you guys still got pretty much the odds are in your favour. Ooh. There we are. Phoenix has got the old wheel. That's a good little emoji, that one, actually. Yes. Yes. And they've been paddleboarding. Yeah, they have. I wanted to go, but I had a call with YouTube. How the other half live. Would the BBC come after you if you used the wheel jingle? Is there a jingle for? I don't know what the wheel is. Big money. It's slowing down. Consigno Phipps. Hello, Dorrigan. Hello. Go on, no, mate, it's going too fast. Oh, it's gone into Barclay. Oh, it could keep going to Eddie, though. I don't know, the momentum's not there. No, look at that, right between the pair of you lovely folk. Barclay, right, my friend. Let me make a little note. God, blimey, that was close. I could have gone either way, that one. So close. Could have been you or Eddie. Oh, bless you. Bless you guys. Oh, Michael. Oh, no, that's why I haven't seen it. I can't stand Michael McIntyre. I'm sure he's a lovely fella and his mum adores him. I just don't. Right, let's get this going then. What has Barclay won? Ooh. It's like the tune at the end of Grease, isn't it? I remember seeing Grease when I was 10 years old. Coming out of there, putting a bit of water on my hair from the toilet, trying to get a DA going on. It's gonna be just die already. Well, that's not very nice of you. It's not a very nice thing to say, is it? There we go, Barclay. That, my friend, is going to be winging its way over to young Barclay. Pure Fonzie energy. Yeah, right? It definitely has that, doesn't it? Hey. I used to love the Fonz. It was so much fun. Loving the guitar riff. I know, or riff, I should say. You were correct. I was incorrect. That wheel is rapid. I'm sorry. I'll adjust it. I'll go and get my screwdriver. Bring it down a speed, a tad speed or two. Right, guys, I've got a feeling I am encroaching on my good friend William. So I got a bit slack when he wasn't streaming so much, and but he's back and absolutely deserves your attention. So let me just go and see if he is indeed streaming. Where are we? Young William SPG. Somebody will tell me anyway. It almost took off. Oh no, imagine that. Let's raid William. Yeah, no, let's do it. I never know how. Let's just do it anyway. Hang on, you all know where he lives, don't you? So he's Special Man is what he is. He's simply Pound Gaming. Let's have a look. He might not be streaming. Something doesn't do every day. Oh, he is. He's doing High on Live. Of course he is. He said he was going to do it. Come on, guys. Let's get over to William. He's doing... Ray's over there. He's... Raider Guy's there as well. Awesome. Sierra Rose. He's doing High on Life. I'm typing Raid. And now we at least one of us has to get over there. Oh, what time is it on? What time is it on, Anne? Yes, I'm more keen on hearing about their cloud gaming news. There was a big thing today in their quarter roundup. They said they've got massive cloud gaming news coming soon. That's what I'd love to find out a bit about. I don't think they're ready for it yet, but I'm looking forward to that for sure. There was a knock in my headphones. I'm a bit scared now. 9 p.m. I think it's the game that William's playing. I think Vet's invited me onto his show. I need to check with him to do a live stream. So I may even pop up later and do a bit of that. That'll be good. Cowboy Factions is confirmed. This is good. Should have covered this, but I don't want to be encroaching on my dear friend William. Geo dudes, after being on the Rokk Show, say let's rock. Yeah, bless you. Right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. It means a huge amount, particularly when I'm still getting burned. But we'll get there. It'll be all good. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Enjoy the PlayStation reveal, whatever it's going to be about, whatever they're going to show. I'm going to definitely be watching that. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Take care.